Hello and welcome to another update video about the XRP chart. So on the XRP chart, we continue to see here this corrective decline. I'm counting that as a WXYXZ correction still. That could change, but relevant support remains at 56.5 cents. Should we break below that, then we probably have a chance to find support at this trend line of this ascending broadening wedge, but it would be too low to be a reliable wave 4. I may then just count it as a B wave, which could still rally in a C wave, but would be a less bullish pattern overall. Overall, it doesn't matter which one it is, because on the lower time frame, XRP hasn't confirmed a low in place anyway. Never broke above resistance here, which I shared with you a few days ago, which was 65.7 cents. In fact, it actually just didn't even touch it. Yeah, it was like looked like it was a bit scared of resistance and just dropped down lower. We did actually expect another low, but then for a more bullish interpretation, it needed to hold 61 cents. But that micro support broke, indicating a much more bearish trend. Now we have a very complex correction here, this WXYXZ correction. It's very rare. And the problem with that wave count is it could also be a leading diagonal to the downside, opening potentially the doors to a much more bearish interpretation. But either way, we're going to track further downside as long as we haven't got evidence that a low is in. Okay, so we are now, however, getting into a region where we have a very important support, which is the golden ratio. That's at 56.5 cents. Could very much be we're going to touch that. A break below that, again, is the trend line. Is going to be support after that or below that. And the indicators, if I open the RSI 4-hour chart, like many other cryptos, is now oversold on the 4-hour chart. 8-hour chart, significantly oversold. Daily chart, not yet, but low enough to form a lasting low. It's a similar value as on the Bitcoin chart, this daily RSI. You can actually see the last few times it turned around, it wasn't even below 30. It was below 30 in November, yes, but since then didn't actually drop below that level. So wave count wise, same situation as yesterday. We are tracking here an ABC structure in the so-called Z wave. Now, there are different ways how this could be counted. I can even come to the conclusion that the A wave is still unfolding. Yeah, if I count it as a diagonal, I just want to point that out. So it could be it's dropping much lower, but the 56.5 cent level is going to give us some clarity about that. If we break below that, then I think it can go down quite quickly to around 50 cents, which then would be quite a bit of a drop. Yeah, we talk here about another 10% roughly. Yeah, overall, I think so far my preferred interpretation on the micro level, however, is that an A wave was done, a B wave was done in 3 waves, and we're now coming down in a C wave, which probably needs another low, I would say, the way this looks, at least one more low, yeah. But either way, we cannot identify a lasting low at this stage. You could add a trend line. I mean, a break of that trend line would be a very, very early signal. I don't think that is very reliable because it's a very steep trend line. But maybe we can actually add a more reliable one. Let's see if we can add one that might give us a clue that things might be turning around. I think this one maybe have enough touch points here. 4 touch points actually. Yeah, this trend line might be more relevant. So if we break above this one, I think we can make a first case that a lasting low has been established. Important would be an impulsive break, but at least it would indicate that probably a larger corrective rally at least is coming. I'm not actually hopeful for an impulse anyway, because XRP for years has only been moving in 3-wave structures, so it's pretty trendless. And you can actually see that when you zoom out a little bit on this chart, the fact that it is just a trendless chart basically, at least for the last few years. It's basically just been moving sideways. Now, yeah, you can argue that back in 2017 into 2018, uptrend, yeah, therefore you could argue for trend continuation. That's what we essentially hope for, but it's taking its time, right? And now we're getting into this last third of this triangle where we're going to see a decision, but it can still take a while, right? I mean, look, the apex isn't even reached until 2025, 2026. It doesn't need to get all the way there, but a triangle pattern always leaves a lot of room for interpretation. So yeah, the risk with this chart is just that it continues to move in corrective sideways structures, which is not necessarily bearish. It's just less clear. You see when many people get too bullish, yeah, then it goes the other way. And that's just what this chart is doing. Still, though, we're tracking the relevant structures and it's just not impulsive, okay? It had potential here, but again, it messed it up. I think it needed to hold 65 cents. That was the, let's call it reliable support for imminent trend continuation. But you can see it failed that, and since then has been in a very, very long correction again. So we're tracking the relevant levels down there. I gave you the trend line as first indication. Let's see if we get a trend reversal done here shortly. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.